There are quite a few reasons to appreciate Joe Rogan, but cracking funny jokes usually isn't one of them. When I think about his long career in stand-up comedy, there's only one bit that sticks out in my memory where he's talking about Caitlyn Jenner.
But it's also possible that maybe if you live with crazy bitches long enough, you become one. That's all I'm saying. I don't see this discussed. It is entirely possible. If you put a praying mantis on a leaf, it becomes the color of the leaf. Why? Because it wants to live. It wants to survive. It wants to be accepted by its environment. You show me a man who's lived with the Kardashians for 10 years who didn't come out a chick, and then we'll have some data, okay?
The reason this bit stands out is because Joe makes an interesting observation, but it doesn't actually make me laugh. There's an underlying seriousness to everything Rogan does that ruins his comedic delivery. We all remember when he confronted Carlos Mencia, and props to Joe for taking a stand against stolen jokes, but it's interesting that he reacted so strongly when other comedians were willing to let the situation slide, and it illustrates his no-nonsense approach to life. I believe we need more people with a passion for truth in this world, but do they belong on a comedy stage? Let's see what happens when Joe tries to riff with other comedians on Kill Tony.
What are you going to do with the watering hole, though? Seriously, what's
swim?
You're going to swim?
I can swim.
Oh my God! Are you going to?
I thought you were talking about a bar.
No, it's a real.
When you said the watering hole, I'm like,
Jet Ski Johnson.
are we in cowboy days?
You and your white girl are going to look like Timon and Pumbaa out there.
You and your white girl are going to look like Timon and Pumbaa.
What is Timon and Pumbaa?
Lion King, never heard of it, Joe Rogan?
I didn't know the reference.
It's from the Lion King.
It's
There
a
you
great
think I
movie
watched
about
that bullshit?
Lion. Watch it. Believe me, you'll love it. It's
The
a
Lion
classic.
King?
Oh, yeah.
Probably won't.
Okay, let's pause for a second. Now, Joe is clearly under the influence, so we can cut him some slack. But a person's true self often comes out when they're inebriated, and we see that the idea of animals that talk just doesn't sit right with Joe's logical brain. He's about to claim he was joking here, but he sounds pretty serious to me.
You've never seen The Lion
Are
King?
you joking?
What lions that talk?
Oh no! What?
What am I, a baby?
It's no Holtzman's favorite movie.
Joking. This guy's heckling me from the back. One of the guitarists doesn't get what's going on. I'm joking.
David,
I have to watch the fucking Lion King. I have kids.
Right.
But I'm like, where's his dick? What are we doing?
Yeah, maybe
We're
you
pretending
should
they
watch
talk and they don't have dicks? What is this?
Right.
What are you teaching my kids?
It's not about their penises.
Everybody dies. There's no blood. No one has a dick. What are we doing?
that's the number one thing you
Where are
think
they getting their food? The fuck are you showing my children?
Oh, have you ever heard such a deafening silence after a joke? That was the definition of a bomb, and I kind of feel bad for Joe here. At least he's talking about his favorite subject, animals. Let's see what happens next.
So tell me, I'm peeing in my pants.
And you're going to pee some more. Joe, don't do this.
So would you want them to have dicks? Would
Yes, big fat dicks. They're lions. They're killing water buffaloes with their face.
So do they just watch porn?
All right.
Don't lions only fuck for like 90 seconds?
It's not that long, but they do it a lot. They can fuck 52 times in a day.
God damn.
Yeah.
If they
when the
fuck-
female tiger is in season, the male tiger will fuck her 52 times a day. Lions is like slightly less.
Okay, so it's just not realistic enough for you. In general, The Lion King.
The Lion King.
Yeah.
Thank you. You
It's
understand
fake.
where I'm coming from, right?
Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my! Lions and tigers and bears. Oh my!
I feel like if Theo Von had been making these jokes, they probably would have landed, but Joe sounds exactly like he does on JRE, rattling off animal facts and statistics.
Bears are pretty fucking huge and ferocious and very invulnerable. Their body's very thick. Tigers would destroy lions. The thing is, though, lions have a terrible existence in the end. Lions are amazing. They're more complicated.
So you're saying lion still's the king?
Yeah. Lions are the king. What tigers are is just this ultra beautiful killing machine.
Now, Rogan's love for knowledge and trivia is great in its own right and ties in perfectly with hosting a podcast. He's a great listener, skilled conversationalist, and all-around man's man with no tolerance for BS.
There is no fear in this dojo!
Joe, we don't even know what a dojo is.
There's no mercy in this dojo!
Joe, why don't you take it down a notch?
No mercy!
I think a lot of us would jump at the chance to hang out with him, but would you pay for a ticket to see jokes like this delivered from a stage?
What the fuck is this crazy trend to go old-fashioned when it comes to making babies? Like, no, we're gonna use a midwife and we're gonna have it in my bathtub. Ooh, why don't you shit that baby on the bottom of a teepee, Pocahontas? Go rinse it off in river water and hide the placenta from the wolves. You have modern technology that makes you feel nothing while your pussy explodes. Do you know that a bathtub used to be modern technology? Yeah, that was back when they just had only the river.
Right about now, you may be thinking, Joe clearly loves comedy, so just let him do his thing. But I don't think the comedian life was ever his dream. If anything, he fell into it.
And why else did you get into being a comedian?
I don't know. I got talked into doing
home?
it. No, I wasn't really very funny.
According to him, back in the day, a couple of his buddies kept telling him that he should be a comedian, so he tried out for an open mic night.
I got talked into doing stand-up by my friends from martial arts. For real. Because we would...
Well, you must have been funny.
Well, I was only funny because it was like gallows humor. We would go to compete, or we would be about to spar, and I would be the guy who would make everybody laugh. Because everybody was so nervous, because it was scary. You beat the shit out of each other, you know? So I would always be doing impressions of people having sex and making jokes, and this was long before I ever thought about being a comedian. I was just trying to lighten up the mood.
Wow.
And that's how I got into stand-up.
So that's how Rogan found his way into the comedy scene. And if you're wondering, there were a lot of animal references back then, too.
Because all you're thinking while she's talking is donkey, 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 donkey. She's going, you know, you have to save the world. Donkey, 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 donkey. Little Energizer rabbit running around your brain 24 hours a day going donkey, donkey, donkey. Still going. Donkey, donkey, donkey.
Now, when I came up with this video idea, I didn't realize that multiple YouTubers have touched on the same topic already. So we don't need to say much about how Joe's podcast guests often make jokes that are completely lost on him.
Dude, this is insane. Look how smart this thing is. But also, look how confident it is in its strength.
And look at him looking over at the camera. He knows he's being filmed, dude.
Yeah, and look how he's... Yeah, I don't think he knows that. But look how...
It's also been pointed out that Rogan wears baggy clothes when he performs because the dude is pretty built, and that can distract and even work against a comedian.
If you want the focus to be on your comedy, you should cover those things up. If you're a male with an overly muscular physique, you should actually try to cover it up, not flaunt it.
Tom Segura doesn't explain this on a scientific level, but my theory is that when we see a physically powerful man yelling and gesturing wildly, it sends primal danger warnings into our subconscious lizard brain. A comedian needs to be as non-threatening as possible so the audience can relax and lose themselves in lighthearted laughter. Now, I think Joe could probably get around the obstacle of his own physicality if it weren't for a bigger problem, his logical, serious mind. We see over and over again how he diverts a conversation from humorous banter into cold, hard facts.
Don't get up. The levels is when you get fucked up.
I had to piss, but it did go away.
I stood up and I went to the bathroom and I thought I heard your dog crying and I looked for your dog in the bathroom for a long time.
Your wife's here?
I was like, Bandit?
Caesar salad invented in Tijuana, Mexico in the 1920s. A green salad of romaine with a highly seasoned dressing of pounded anchovies, olive oil, lemon juice, egg, and Parmesan cheese. Garnished.
Let's reading ingredients of a salad on a podcast.
Getting excited.
Maybe it's a left brain, right brain thing, who knows? But comedy is about exaggerating or distorting reality into something ridiculous, and Joe tends to do the exact opposite. At least when Joe does understand the joke, he's great at appreciating other people's humor.
Look how brown it's getting back there.
My stomach hurts.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm kind of retarded. In that... No. That's going to be a soundbite.
Some people might say that Rogan's sense of humor isn't discriminating enough. Because of his massive influence, Rogan has launched and enabled quite a few questionable comedy careers. But that's a subject for another video, if you guys request it. In conclusion, Joe Rogan has a lot going for him, but not much talent for stand-up comedy. Fortunately for him, he doesn't need it anymore, and I'm sure he'll continue to flourish without it. He also seems to take himself with a grain of salt, so I know a little criticism wouldn't bother him much.
But there's another 1% that freaks me the fuck out that no one's talking about. That's the 1% who leave comments on YouTube videos. Who the fuck are those freaks?